5 years have passed since our main character holed up himself to escape bullying in middle school. He didn't have any hope in the future and lived meaninglessly. That's when he was chosen by a god to reincarnate in another world. He was guaranteed to have magic powers in the next world, and he was given a cheat skill in order for him to have an easy life. What he had been wishing for so far was to have a peaceful life, immersing himself in anime and game all day, falling asleep whenever he wanted, a life full of self-indulgence. He was reborn as a newborn. His father is the emperor of the empire, and his mother, Giselot, is the queen. He also has the royal mark on his left chest, which is evidence that he's their son. The emperor then decided to measure his magic power. The emperor thought his magic power would be overwhelming. Since he's the child, him and the princess of light who defeated the demon king, they thought his magic power would be over 50, but it was just at level 2. Plus, it doesn't have any attributes, and can only use barrier magic. The emperor was afraid that if such a useless child was to be born, it would eventually cause a natural uproar, so they both decided to tell the world that the Prince Reinhardt died at birth. Funny enough, he just reincarnated, and now he's getting killed again. His previous life was already filled with awful people. Same in this new world. He then decided to throw him away at a faraway forest. The god who reincarnated him told her colleague that he gave our main character a cheat power, but it's been misunderstood, and it's because the magic measuring tool in that world only displays 2-digit. She also forgot to give him attribute, and his magic power was set at level 1002, which was very overpowered. He was thrown into a forest. Since he couldn't move, he decided to use barrier magic, which was only what he's good at. He was able to create a square on his first try, and he thought using magic was actually easy. So he continued to enlarge and alter the shape and color of the barrier. Since he could do anything he thought of, he decided to apply the barrier to himself, and he was able to float in the air. His ability was more useful than he thought, and it didn't consume his power. Suddenly, he was attacked by a beast, but he was well protected by his magic barrier, which was very strong. He then decided to make a lot of small barriers to attack him, but it was ineffective, so he used his barrier to lift up a tree, and he used it to attack the beast, which was able to knock it down. Since a few trees won't be able to knock it down completely, he decided to use something heavier, and as he was able to strike it down, the beast spoke, and it pleaded for his life. The beast told him that she wanted to eat him and replenish her magic power, but she didn't expect him to be strong. She then realized that he couldn't talk, but he was previously acting on logical reasoning. He then thought of an idea to make a barrier that can say his thoughts out. He then puts it in his throats. He then speaks to the beast, and she asks him about his identity, because he looks like a baby fresh out of the womb. He then tells her that his name is Heart, and that he was born in another country, but his magic level was too low, and he was thrown out. But she had no idea what he was talking about, since she could feel a power from him that surpasses human limit. She then asked him if he was the Demon King's reincarnation. Since it'd be a problem if he was perceived as weak, he decided to pretend to be the Demon King. The beast was really shocked, and she didn't even doubt him. She then gave up. She thought Heart would kill her, but he told her that he won't kill her, only if she did not attack him. She then swore on the loyalty of the Flame Fenrir clan not to attack him, and as he was about to take his leave, she stopped him, and told him that since he saved her life, she decided to make a contract, and take him as her master. Suddenly, Heart fell down. Since he was weak, it was a problem that couldn't be solved by magic. He told her to give him breast milk. Well, she accepted his request, and she successfully transformed into a human. She immediately covered herself to avoid sullying his sight. She then wore a more erotic dress. She then undressed to breastfeed him, since breast milk is only produced by a female body after it reproduces. She then told him to mate with her, but she later apologized for her careless word. Suddenly, she could feel someone approaching them. She decided to kill him, but Heart told her not to. He then created a barrier so that only her could hear his voice. The man was a warrior, and he told her that he had come to pick up the baby, but she refused to allow him because he had become her master, so he's already hers. The man told her that the baby was the child of the relative of his. He had come to rescue him after they threw him away for some certain reason. She asked him why he had come to pick up something that someone had already thrown away, and he told her that he thought the baby was starting to get hungry, and he had brought breast milk in order to feed him. Hart was very happy because of the milk, but Flay turned down the breast milk. Hart urged her to take it, or else he would die from hunger. The man told her that he have a very personal reason as to why he's interested in Hart. He told her that his wife was pregnant recently, but the child died. That's why he wanted to take care of Hart, even if he was thrown away due to lack of magic power. No matter what kind of kid he is, he wanted him to treasure the life he was blessed with. Flay busted out in tears after hearing the man's sad story. The man then made a deal with Flay. He told her that he'd hire her as a servant if she had taken Hart as her master. She ended up accepting his offer in order to watch over him. The man poured blood into the basket, leaving a fake trace that he was killed by Beast. It's been 9 years, and he grew up under the care of Gold, a margrave. He planned to distance himself and leave, but due to their kindness and comfort they provided, he ended up staying. And the only problem is that his little sister hated him. His mother told him that the reason why Charlotte, his sister, is avoiding him was because she doesn't know how to approach a boy. But she's quite attached to Flay, a woman like her. Hart wants to move out quickly, but if he was to leave, he would have to take Flay with him, which would make Charlotte hate him. For the past 9 years, in preparation to leave, he have been researching barrier magic, and he have managed to make his clone, but it's unable to talk or move yet. Some minutes later, his father called him out in order to teach him swordmanship since his magic level was low. He wanted him to grow his skills in other fields. He then asked him if there was something else he wanted to do. Hart told him he wanted to research ancient magic. His father thought maybe he had found new possibilities from mythical age magic, which explains what he kept doing in his room. His father told him that researching in magic doesn't rule out the possibility that he's good with swords. He then gave him a wooden sword for them to spar. His father is a strong man who is nicknamed the Rumbling Earth's Warhammer, and there is no way he could get a hit on him. Since he doesn't want to get hurt, he decided to put on a barrier to cover his weak physical abilities. He then attacked, but his father dodged it, which made the sword break on ground impact. His father was surprised at what had just happened. He then attacked Hart while holding back a little, but he was able to dodge it. His father told him that he needed to be level 30 to avoid his attack, but Hart was able to do it. Hart also suspected that something was strange. He thought maybe his magic level was 3 digits, but it was level 2, and the highest recorded level for humans is 77. His magic level is 2, and he has no attributes. As a result, he summoned it up to magic having a random success rate, which made him wonder if that was the cheat skill the goddess gave him. His father thought he had awakened unconsciously. Well, they continued their practice so that he could become a top-class swordsman. Later at night, Gold told his wife that he tried giving Hart swordsmanship training. Due to his exceptional skill, he thought maybe Hart was a demi-demon, and according to the royal family's confidential information, there are people who were involved with demons in the past. It's an extremely rare occasion, but there are people who were born with some demonic features. But Hart doesn't have horns or tails, and since his royal mark is still undecipherable, it means he has a strange power, and Flay, who is an actual demon, also abides by Hart, so he is suspicious that there might be secret between them. But they both accepted Hart to be a normal person, and whatever happens, they both decide to make him happy as possible.